Good evening, listeners. This is Mulberry Bush and Psychic Medium Tree.
Hello, everybody.
With another episode of Mulberry Trimmings. Tonight's show, like previous episodes, will partially be on YouTube. And if anyone is interested in seeing the list of songs and related videos for tonight's show, they can also be found on the YouTube channel. Listeners and followers can find links to the show on Facebook, YouTube, and Google as Around the Mulberry Bush. And Psychic Medium Tree can be found at psychicmediumtree.com. The theme of tonight's show will be all things tarot, and we'll be taking calls throughout the show, so feel free to call in. The lines are open. Now, the intro song.
Oh, hello. I think we are back
We are back on the air.
So
all
welcome.
right.
We're talking about tarot cards.
Yeah.
And Jeremy, what's the origin of the tarot?
Well, what we're able to pull together is that the tarot card came from northern Italy and southern France. Somewhere in there, a town called Marseille has record of it, that it was played as a card game by the upper aristocrats of Italy and who were influencing France at the time. That deck is still on display at the British Museum, the deck of Marseille, that was first used also in divination, but not by the people playing it as a card game.
Right, because it used to be, it was a card game back during that time frame, right?
That's true, yeah.
They started using it, they noticed it had some special things about it where they could help get insight into their life. And I know that the major arcana is kind of a general insight into your life of, past, present, future. And the minor arcana of the 78 cards, that's more of where you can, you have choices. It's advice and where you can change those aspects.
I look at the upper arcana as the will and what's going to happen with the will. And then I look at the lower arcana as the emotions behind the will. And how the entire deck the deck was reevaluated during the Victorian era, and when you go to a metaphysical store and you buy a tarot deck, you're probably buying the model based on the reevaluation of the cards. So my deck is the original deck of Marseille, so if we do pull a card from this that's opposite, we'll go with what's in your deck, because the divination is more about understanding the energies and how to apply them in a read to the future.
Right. And I use tarot cards as a medium. I first channel the information from spirit, and then I use the divination cards to back up what they say and give like a little more depth to what they're telling me. I can say that some people use tarot wrong, incorrectly, and if you're prying into the details of somebody's private life, not good. That would be the wrong way to use tarot.
Yeah.
Or abusing the cards but continually shuffling and ignoring their messages, or using them to send ill will to others. So tarot cards are specifically just about trying to help somebody, and self-discovery. It's a tool for divination.
That is
and
right.
Insight.
They're a tool for divination. They allow your spirit to read the energies and apply them to the future. It is not there to oppose will on people and use them in spells.
That's right.
That's bad.
That's right.
It's bad stuff.
And I've been told that it's not so easy to read for yourself. You can pull away, but it often doesn't work.
You know what I found
better to work for somebody else. Oh, go ahead.
This is what I found with reading the tarot for yourself. You are your worst enemy. So
Yes.
you are going to read into it improperly.
That's right.
For your own self.
That's
if
right.
you find that the future is enough of a mystery that you have to rely on your internal vision only, your outer vision isn't seeing it. So your internal vision isn't going to see it either.
Right. It's kind of like the person who draws, it was like the pics where he loves me not, but she kept getting he loves me not. So she'll do it over and over and over again. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Until she realizes she started with a 5-petal flower. No, I started on the wrong phrase. Take that.
Yeah.
So I have been mega shuffling this Upper Arcana deck here. Are you ready to pick a card?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, because any one of these cards will be the next song also that we'll play the song and then maybe do a breakdown of the card itself.
Okay, and okay. I am picking a card to see insight into what the economy will look like in the next 6 months for the United States in general. So it's very, very general.
Ooh, the chariot. All right.
Okay, so in the next 6 months in general.
All right.
Tell us about it.
Now let me cheat and look at my song list here.
Well, the chariot represents ability and talent. And so I would read that as a favorable.
I already checked to make sure this song. I actually looked for this song earlier, so I know it's already on here.
Oh, you have a song for the chariot.
Awesome. I do. I have a song for the chariot. All right.
So it looks to me like, can you argue with this one, that the next few months is going to be a favorable economy for the United States?
I think so. I think I'm already seeing adjustments to the minimum wage going up, and the next tier up job class is already starting to argue wages. So I could see that the system and how Americans are perceiving what we've just kind of gotten used to with the slow climb to our minimum wage. I think we're going to be more aware of how all of that works.
Right.
Yeah.
So you ready? We just drew a card to see how the pandemic is going to go in the next 6 months. And unfortunately, it is the Temperance reversed, which says some type of extreme. There's a balance loss. So there's too much or too little of something. And it also shows worn down, resting. So that means that we won't completely be out of the woods yet with COVID.
Yeah.
So get your boosters and your shots.
I foresee, because we're on the tail end of needing that 4th booster. It's been close to a year now since the 3rd one. So I see that being some of what we're going to be attentive to in the not too distant future, at least.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you want me to see about a temperance one?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think temperance.
If you've got one.
What number is temperance? 14. Somewhere in here I do. You know, I'm going to have to double cheat. I have a spreadsheet that lets me know what songs I was going to use.
So Tara, it's a medium. You can connect with whatever source you choose. But if you are going to connect with the Tara, make sure that you ask first for the divine light of love and protection, because you are connecting with spiritual energy. And it can be used to connect with spirit guides as well as inner wisdom for clarity and guidance towards a question. So just remember the laws of karma, that only use these cards for doing something positive.
Okay, so here's the temperance song. You ready? It's very... There we go.
We're back. Jeremy, what's your favorite tarot card?
My favorite tarot card is the Hermit. I think because He represents somebody that does not necessarily need to follow the crowd, and he's a traveler. And in magical traditions, he's usually the one with the golden secret that everybody's looking for, and he's the one to hand it out.
Oh, yeah.
So, I
That's
like
a
him.
nice card.
Yeah.
I actually like the hierophant because it symbolizes order, certainty, marriage. It symbolizes enough resources, and it symbolizes, the things that you can count on. There's just so many uncertainties and ambiguities in our lives that it's nice when you get the hierophant card. Did I say it correctly?
You did.
Hierophant?
Yeah, hierophant.
Yeah.
It's all kind of it means pope
Okay.
or leader of a religious system. Yeah. It
Very
could be an
nice.
imam or a Buddha and be a
Yeah.
hierophant. Yeah.
Now, if you read these tarot cards for yourself, make sure you don't ask the same question multiple times, because then you're going to get multiple answers, and it's not the way tarot should be done or employed.
Yeah.
Because you got to pay attention to the message that you originally get and then leave it.
That's right. And here's the way I look at it, because a lot of readers use the energy that's stored in their understanding of the card, right? So they see these 5 or 6 phrases that might mean what their card's trying to say. But what the deck is really trying to say is, I have like a paragraph worth of something to tell you, and I have one flash of light to show it to you. So if you keep flashing a light at that same paragraph, you're just going to get one word at a time of something that's trying to piece together with what it said in the first place. And by the time you ask your own intuition something the 5th time, you're lying to yourself. You ain't figuring it out. It's as simple as that. It's like, oh,
That's
magic
right.
8-ball. I have 6 answers, and all 4 that I don't want have showed up. What's the real answer, damn it?
Yep, exactly.
It's so true. All right, so we should pick one third card to say queries into the future. And we can even reevaluate these
Okay.
some months down the road and say, hey, that's
yeah.
what we saw coming out.
All
Would you
right,
like to pick the
into
last
my
one?
personal future?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm nervous. There might be a death card in there. Don't be doing it.
Everybody dies.
Oh, thank God, the Emperor.
Oh,
Phew.
good. Wait,
Oh.
there's 2.
Oh, an upside down lover.
Upside down
2 came out.
lovers
That's-
and the Emperor. That would be my personal upcoming insight.
Okay. Well, let me see which one. So do I get to pick one of 2 songs?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, also, I wanted to talk about the tarot deck that everybody thinks of. Everybody thinks of the Rider-Waite deck, which is the yellow deck, yellow box with the magician card on the front. And that is from the Victorian era. Arthur E. Waite and Pamela Coleman Smith got together and redesigned the traditional deck so that it would be more metaphor and occult. Arthur Waite used the Golden Dawn system, and Pixie used her artwork based on the deck that she used to look at the British Museum. So it's a cool deck. It's worth checking out. All right. Deck. It's worth checking out. Hello. All right.
Sorry, we've got a little technical error here.
So, all right. Since the Emperor came up, I'm going to pick the Emperor song because the lover songs I have are all about that card, and that card is showing, a toss-up between 2 different people. The person in the middle is torn between 2 people. So there's a song called "Torn Between Two Lovers," but I don't want to play that one.
Oh, let's play the Emperor.
Yeah, let's play the Emperor one. That one's a cool one anyway. And let me see if it's on here. I hope it is. It is. Okay, so here's the deal. This dude goes by a different name, but for a while when he was listening to the religion of the Rastafari, he named himself Lion because lion is the symbol of that. Was the here comes the king for the emperor.
Yes, so you just drew the hanged man.
The hanged man.
That always stands for I can't fight or force the things I cannot control. For this reason, I surrender. So with work, it symbolizes feelings of, you know, powerlessness regarding work situation and maybe waiting for a message or something to materialize. Kind of suggests letting go of your need to control and just being open to taking directions from others and hearing different points of view.
I'll go with that. Seems a little more precise than my standard interpretation of this card is always based on a PBS special where I saw Christopher Lee as the narrator for it, and he was going over the different tarot cards and stuff, and the way he explained the hanged man is how I always think of this card every time I see it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, how do you see it?
There is a mysterious man dressed in a strange uniform
Hanging up
who has purposely hung himself in a ritualistic way, as if getting too involved in whatever work he has in front of him. That's what Christopher Lee said.
Oh.
I still remember it to this day, and it was
fun.
like 15-something years ago.
That's really fun.
Yeah, so the hanged man. Now, the song that I pulled up here is a different version, I think, of the same song for that. It's only a 2-minute song, so this can be our closeout song, or we can take callers if they wanted to call in.
We're going to have another episode on tarot cards.
Yeah, we are. I think tarot cards is a good
stay tuned
return.
And we've got one more song for you.
Myself out talking about nonsense. Oh my God. So, well, that was our closeout song. We were only going to do a half an hour tonight. So, you want me to go ahead and shut everything down? We have a listener right now.
Yeah, thanks for listening. And
we'll be back. Have a good one.